I've restarted this video 3 times now because I don't even know what to say or how to say it because I'm so excited. So as you can probably tell from the title of this video, I have finally launched my presets and they are now on sale. So as this video went live, the presets officially went on sale on my blog. So I will leave a link in the description box if you wanted to head over and purchase them. So these have been, I want to say, around a year in the making. So I have been honestly going backwards and forwards with edits and styles and names and all kinds of things, testing them on different locations, testing them on different people, the whole shebang. And finally I have released a few of the packs and I am so excited and I'm just obsessed with them. I really love these presets and they are genuinely ones that I use on every single picture that I put up, and I am so excited they are finally live. So I am launching officially with 4 preset packs and 1 master collection. I'll talk you through each one quickly. So first up we have the classic collection, which is the basic copper. So this is 6 presets that are the first I ever made and I really love them. So they're quite warm, they're very sharp, very contrasted, and they're literally what I use on 90% of my pictures, and they're kind of how all the other presets were made. So the classic collection is like the core collection, I guess you could say, and all of the other presets and preset packs have kind of like expanded off and they're all like hybrids of the classic collection. So they are warm, they're contrasted, they're very bright and creamy, and I love these. These are my favourite ones by an absolute mile because they are the original, the OG, they are what I absolutely love. And I actually made these presets. So I started with the 1 and kind of turned it into 6 and then started, and that was actually, I want to say, around about the time I went to Cayman Islands, which is literally like a 1.5 years ago, and that was when they were made. Then I also have the Disney collection, which is specifically made for the Walt Disney parks, but you can use them anywhere. Like, I use these all the time on my stories, I occasionally use them for other pictures, and they have been created in the Disney parks for the Disney parks. So they are literally every type of possible part of the Disney parks that you could think of, there is a preset for, because when I went, my presets did not work in the Disney parks, and I knew that I wanted to make some that really worked, that showed off the colours but didn't show them off too bright because it's not my style. So if you have seen any of my Disney pictures, they were edited with something in this pack. And then the third one is the tropical one. So the tropical one is created in Qatar and the Cayman Islands. So I basically used my Cayman Island presets, tweaked them ever so slightly so they work with Qatar as well, and they are basically the presets that I use whenever I am somewhere hot, sunny, warm, beaches, blue skies, that kind of vibe. So very summery. They also do work really well in London in the summer, so just wanted to throw that out there. You can use it anywhere. And then the 4th preset pack I am launching with is my London pack. So that is all the presets that work really well for the moody city streets of London, but also if you're in a cafe, if you're going for brunch, if you are out shooting street style, if you're at a London landmark, wherever you might be, these are the presets that work really well for that. So now you know the basics of the 4 preset packs, I just wanted to kind of quickly talk you through the logistics of them. So I have made all of these presets to work on mobile and desktop. So basically, whether you're using your laptop to edit or your phone, because I know a lot of people do use their phone, they work across the board, and they also work on DSLR and iPhone imagery. So I mean, I say iPhone, it's also any kind of phone if you take it on a Samsung or whatever as well, but obviously I have an iPhone, which is why I said iPhone, but I take pictures on my phone sometimes, on a camera, on my friends' cameras, and these are kind of across the board presets. They work with everything. They are one-click friendly, which means that you don't have to know how to edit a picture to use them. You can literally just pop the preset on and go. You do not need to edit, you do not need to do anything to them, apart from if you want to. So some of the presets are, like, every preset works for a specific type of thing, but obviously no 2 pictures are the same, so you may sometimes need to give them a bit of a tweak, which is why I am creating this video, to show you how I edit them. But if you did want to purchase any of the preset packs, I will leave a link down below. They are £15 a pack, and I also have released a master collection, which is all 4 preset packs, including 6 bonus presets, which are actually discounted. So you basically save the price of 2 preset packs, and they're pretty good. I love these ones. That is literally everything that I'm currently using. Without further ado, I wanted to show you how I use the presets. So I'm going to put my phone onto a little screen record, and then I'm going to talk you through how I edit pictures. So we're going to go ahead and start with a basic iPhone snap. So I'm going to try and find, do you know what, we'll go with this one. So this is just a little mirror selfie that I took yesterday. I've put it back to import, so as you can see, there's absolutely no filter on this. and we're going to go ahead and pop on a preset. So we're going to use one of the Classic Collection ones to edit this picture, and I'm going to just quickly flick through them so you can see that every preset is kind of slightly different, and they all work really well with just the one click depending on kind of what you want. My favourite is actually the Mocha and Cappuccino. They are two of the first ones I came up with. I think the very initial one was Americano, and they're named after coffee because if you know me, I love coffee, and I feel like these are the perfect like creamy, like warm tones that kind of, to me, look like different coffees. I don't know, it's what I thought of about midnight one night, but I really like the names of them and I just think they're pretty great. So we're going to go in with Cappuccino for this one. So as you can see, that is kind of the one click, so you literally just put the preset on and that is what it looks like. But I want to show you quickly how you can tweak it, and then I'll also show you on another couple of pictures as well, just so you get a gist of kind of how you can use the presets to your advantage. So this one doesn't have any extra exposure or contrast, but you can, if you want to, kind of up these a little bit. And then I tend to turn down the highlights and the white just because I think it kind of looks a bit better if you pull everything around, and it just gives it a little bit more of a creamy look. But obviously you don't have to do this if you don't want to, this is just personal preference. So I've just kind of ever so slightly tweaked that. And then we're going to go into the colour tab. So as you can see, it is on -5 for temperature, but it's still very warm. And then it's also +4 for the tints, it's a little bit pinky. And then also the vibrance is ever so slightly up. So we're going to leave that alone unless you did want to tweak. So like if you turn the temperature down, you can just see that the orange gets a little bit less intense. And then obviously you can play with this one and it just turns it a little bit more pinky or green. So I tend to always go for the pinky side just for preference, because I think with blonde hair it looks a bit nicer. You can turn it to the other side if you want to, but I tend to kind of play around until it looks the most natural. So until the preset looks as it should look, essentially. Then we're going to go into colour mix. So colour mix is where most of the magic happens and where a lot of your presets are kind of evolved. So this is where everything changes completely. So this is where you can change the sky colour slightly, the intensity of the sky, you can change the colour of your hair ever so slightly, you can give yourself a tan, which I tend to do in every single picture. So if you ever see a picture of me, just know that I've probably tanned myself by about 100, and I don't know why I do it, I just like it, I think it looks better, and it saves me having to fake tan in real life, guys. It literally saves me so much time. So this is the kind of gist of this one. So as you can see, it is quite an orange and yellow picture anyway, but I'm just going to tap on the yellow and you can see it's kind of more towards the green, which, if I'm honest, doesn't really change much. We're just going to leave it where it is. And then you can turn the saturation up and down, which again, doesn't really change much on this image. So I tend to put the yellow down as much as I can, just because being a blonde, it means that my hair doesn't look as yellow, and I kind of don't like when my hair looks really yellow, because when I'm wearing neutral colours and stuff, it all just blends into one, and I'm not a fan of that. So leave that alone. And then I'm going to just show you what I mean by tanning myself. So the luminance tool on orange is your best friend. This is where you make your tan look like it's there. So as you can see here, that is what it looks like when we're on 0. So that is kind of the natural colouring of the picture with a slight orangey pink tint. Obviously I've just changed the colours around a little bit. And then if you drag the luminance down, you can see that the tan starts to kind of appear, and personally I always give it a little bit. I never really go past like 30-ish, depending on what picture it is and where I am. Like if I'm in a bikini, I normally whack it down a bit more, just because sometimes if you've got the sun blaring on you, you can look a lot more pale, so it just gives you a little bit of a tan. But that is where I like to leave it. And then we're actually going to go in and just play around with the red as well. So as you can see, when you turn the red up, it makes the picture very, very orange. But if you pull the red down a slight bit, then it just gives it a nice little glow. So that is kind of the gist of how I would edit this one particularly. And then obviously you can play around with the blues as well, and you can get rid of the blues in the background. Completely up to you, but that is essentially how I pop on a preset. Like I said, you do not have to do anything. This is just if you want to, or if you find that the colours on any specific thing are too much. And then if you click on effects, one of my favourite things to do is add a little bit of clarity. So clarity, as you can see, basically gives a little bit of contrast, but also a little bit of detail. So I'm going to put it up by 7 just to kind of show you what I mean. And then we're just going to zoom in here, and you can see kind of how the sharpening and stuff changes on the picture as well. And then if you have taken it on an iPhone, the one thing I will suggest is maybe playing around with your noise reduction and your colour noise reduction, because this gives you ever so slight smoothing of the skin and the whole general image. But also it just kind of means that your picture isn't grainy. So if you like grainy, great. If you're like me and you don't really like grainy, then that's definitely something to play with. But that is essentially one picture. completely edited. So I'm going to just quickly show you how I do it on a street style shot as well, because I think street style ones are really important to know how to edit. So we're going to go in with one of my guitar pictures, which is a good one. There's potential this is going to be an outtake, so we're just going to click around and see what happens. Okay, so we're going to go in with this one. So this is actually a camera picture, so it's slightly different. I'm going to show you basically the same location on camera and on iPhone, just so you get a gist of kind of how to use this best. Okay, on my phone this is called the summer preset collection. It is the tropical collection, I just named it wrong by accident. And I'm just going to quickly flick through and show you what each of the presets looks like on this. So you can see kind of how everything looks a bit different. And we're actually going to go in with the Hi, I Live Here. Yeah, let's go in with Hi, I Live Here. So this is the kind of gist of just whacking on the preset, which I really like the look of. I think it's a great way to just kind of one-click edit, but obviously, again, up to you if you want to play around or not. I'm going to show you quickly how to kind of adjust the sky and the brightness and stuff, just in case you go away and you do want to edit these things up. So we're going to go back into our light panel and we're just going to click around with the exposure and stuff. So I'm going to bring the exposure down ever so slightly, and also the white, and bring up, actually no, we're not going to bring up the shadow. We're maybe going to bring the highlight down a tiny bit. Yeah, let's do that. And that's pretty much how I want the lighting to be. So that's kind of all the lighting in its way. And what I'm going to do now is alter the green and the blues. So we can kind of turn down the sky a little bit, because the sky is quite dark in this, and it actually wasn't dark in the original image. As you can see, it was quite light. So we're going to go into the colour and click mix, and then click on the darker blue, not the turquoise. And what we're going to do is just pull up the luminance, which, as you can see, changes the whole sky. So you can add as little or as much as you like. I'm actually going to go in at +4 because I think it's a nice softer sky. And then you can also change saturation if you want to. So if you want a really blue sky or a really light sky. And I'm actually just going to put this back to 0. And then I'm actually going to click on the green one. And as you can see, the hue is at +32. So if you look in at the tree here, the hue completely changes the colour of the tree. So I'm going to go and pop it at the point it was at, which I think was about 19. I can't remember. And then we're just going to bring up the saturation ever so slightly so that the trees look a bit more normal. And then, as you can see with the luminance on this one, it basically just makes them a bit darker. So we're going to make them a little bit darker. And then that is essentially all I do. That is it. That is all I do to the preset. So then this is what it looks like as the before and after. So this is the original image, and this is the edit. So you can see that I've very, very slightly tweaked it. I've made it a little bit more pink, which you can turn down. So if you wanted to, you can just kind of pull this a little bit and just get it to the right kind of edit that you want, so it's not too green and not too pink. And that is the gist of that one. So keeping that visual in mind, I will screenshot it now for you so you can see what it looks like compared to an iPhone snap. So as you can see, the raw pictures on my camera roll are the camera snaps, and then the ones without raw here are the ones that are on an iPhone. So we're going to go in with this one, which is actually the one that I posted to Instagram, and as you can see, that currently doesn't have anything on it. So we're going to go in with Hi, I Live Here again, and as you can see, it works pretty similarly on the iPhone. I wouldn't say there's any major difference in the initial edit of this. I do think on iPhone they're a lot more one-click friendly, just because cameras have a lot more colour in them. They have a lot more kind of profile in a raw image, which gives you a lot more scope for changing the colouring around. Whereas iPhone is kind of like a one-hit wonder, which is great if you are someone who shoots on iPhone, but if you are someone who shoots on camera, you probably want more of an image profile, and you probably want to be able to play around a little bit more anyway. But doesn't mean you can't do it with an iPhone. Like, I literally, you could go down my Instagram feed and you probably can't tell which pictures are iPhone and camera, because I do just kind of flip between the two and really enjoy doing so. But I'm going to quickly show you how I adjust this as well. So we're going to go straight in with colour on this one, because I don't think the lighting really needs to be changed. And I'm just going to show you the kind of difference with the sky again. So as you can see, the only difference is that the sky is a little bit more pixelated on this one, just because of the fact that obviously it's an iPhone, so it's a bit lesser quality. And we're just going to really, really gently just tweak the sky. So as you can see, you can change, I mean, wow, we don't need a purple sky. You can change the colouring of the sky ever so slightly. So you could make it a little bit more green. You can make it a little bit more towards the pinky side. Whatever you feel like, you can do pretty easily. Let me get that back to normal. There we go. And it's super simple. So as I mentioned before, and I've mentioned 60 billion times in this video, they are one-click presets. You really don't need to edit. If you wanted to, then you can. and sometimes all it takes is a little simple tweak to make the picture look great. Or if you want to get a bit more experimental as you kind of develop into the presets, you can tweak them as much as you want to. I personally don't think you need to, and I've worked really hard to make them at one click. So yeah, that is basically how I edit using my presets. And again, like I said before, I will leave all of the information to my presets down below so you can go and purchase them if you wish. There will potentially be new packs released over time, but for now these are the 4 that I'm going with, and the 4 that I have kind of perfected to an absolute max and really love and use the most. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you did buy my presets, don't forget to leave me a comment down below and let me know. And whatever pictures you post on Instagram, remember to use the hashtag #CopperGardenPresets so I can have a little look and maybe repost a couple if I like them. So thank you very much for watching this video, guys. Thank you so much if you do buy the presets. Let me know what you think of them, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.